Well, to say this is a happy day for the CFL is a monumental understatement. Obviously, we've been waiting for this for a long time. It's taken an awful lot of hard work to get here. When we were confronted, all of us, not just in the football business or the media business, but in all walks of life, were confronted with the COVID crisis in March of 2020. None of us would have imagined that it would have taken us on the journey that it has. It obviously had a significant effect on us in 2020, and perhaps it's best to say that being disappointed in 2020 just doubled and then redoubled and redoubled again our resolve to get back on the field in 2021. And it was a thrill today. Following a unanimous vote by our Board of Governors, it was a thrill to make the announcement that we'll kick off our season on August the 5th, and we'll be in Hamilton for what I think will be one of the greatest Grey Cups of all time, a truly national celebration, not just of our great game, just of our great teams, not just of our great players and coaches, but just of what everything our league has meant, what our teams have meant to their communities, and what our game has meant to Canada. We are watching very carefully all of the developments on the healthcare side. We're obviously very encouraged at the pace of vaccinations happening across the country now. We're certainly encouraging all Canadians to get their first and then their second vaccination. We've got a very strong health and safety plan. We've been in a great collaboration with government at all levels, with health officials at all levels. And Dan, look, we don't know everything that's in front of us, but we feel like we've got a really solid plan. And as I say, we're just going to encourage everyone to continue the pace of vaccinations. And we believe that is the best way for us and all of our society to ensure that nothing knocks us off course. Look, what I can tell you is that I'm very optimistic that we're going to see a good number of fans when we start our season in August. We're hopeful that that number is going to increase through the fall. Obviously, we're going to hope that as Canadians continue to get their first and second vaccinations, that governments are going to, be confident to increase the numbers that they're allowing in the stadiums. Steve, I'm going to stay away from, quoting particular prognostications or predictions, but I am hopeful, and we are hopeful as a league, that as Canadians get vaccinated, government's going to let us see, let us gather more and more in greater numbers. And Steve, the best thing I can say is, wouldn't it be great to have a national celebration in the great city of Hamilton in that beautiful Tim Hortons field on December the 12th, the stadium just rocking with fans and a league playing, one of the greatest games of football on the planet. That's my hope for Sunday, December the 12th. We're going to have our traditional East and West. We did leave a small window open for a potential adjustment to the playoff structure, but right now, as it stands, we're going to play our traditional 6-team playoff format. But we did, as I say, we left a small window open for that to be discussed as things go on. But for the most part, it'll be a traditional CFL playoff structure. We have made great progress in our return to play plans, our health and safety plans, and we are getting, every day we inch closer and closer to all of the approvals that we need. I think we feel very good about it. Obviously, governments have a responsibility not just to sports leagues and sports teams, but to, all of their citizens to make sure we're doing everything we can to keep each other safe. But Jeff, right now, we still have some work to do, but we feel very good about all the things we will need to get our players to training camps for a July 10th training camp kickoff, and then getting them onto the field for the August 5th start. So right now, Jeff, the answer is we feel very, very, very confident in our plan, but still a little bit work to be done.
What is up, my friends? Welcome to the first live CFL News Hub show. That's all we're going to call it, a CFL News Hub show. Nothing fancy. You know me, Mark Perry, editor of XFL News Hub and now CFL News Hub. Big news today. We finally not only are we going to have a season that was announced yesterday, but we're also have a schedule to look at. So we're going to review the schedule today, just in this brief show. Make sure that you do a couple things for us. First, if you want to get in touch, you just email info@cflnewshub.com with your MP3 or videos. And basically what we're going to do is come in July, we're going to have a weekly show where we just talk everything CFL, from DFS, fantasy, betting, the games, talk about, preview the games, the matchups, the whole kind of thing, live on YouTube. And that will be coming out. The show will become a regular thing in July. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so you get the notifications. Hit the notification bell when we got things coming out, because we plan on pushing out some content on the YouTubes as well. So big news today. I'm super excited. I didn't sit here and dissect all of the schedule. I wanted to kind of consume it with you guys live on the YouTubes. And welcome, Zach and Richard Humphrey are on there. Zach says, "What's up? Giving some love to my friends up north. This is CFL News Hub, and this is the love of football." Yes. And Richard says, "Fantastic CFL News Hub. Can't wait for the weekly show." Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm excited to actually talk about football instead of all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the big news of the day, which is the schedule is here. So this is the official press release from the CFL. It says the 2021 Canadian Football League, CFL, schedule kicks off Thursday, August 5th, when the reigning Grey Cup champions Winnipeg Blue Bombers host America's team, Hamilton Tiger Cats, in an epic rematch, 620 days in the making. Dang, it's a long time. Super excited. I am so pumped, especially with hopefully he makes the team, is Cam Phillips from the Houston Roughnecks. Super excited for that. See how that goes. The first CFL game since the same two teams met in the 107th Grey Cup on November 24th, 2019. The highly anticipated contest will mark the league's comeback from a hiatus caused by you-know-what. We'll take a look at the schedule in a second. Randy Ambrosi says, quote, "We're so excited to kick off the season. Excited for our players, our coaches, our partners like us, and especially our fans like you guys, who have stuck with us and stood by us. It's going to be a great season leading to the Grey Cup that promises to be an incredible special moment in history for our game, our league, and our country." Hey, don't forget us down south, my friends. So for football hungry fans, it feels like every game this season will be a highlight. But here is some of the other news from the schedule released today. First, everything leads to the 108th Grey Cup in Hamilton on December 12th. I just want to say, for the record, that my wife and I has put that in the calendar. Put that in the calendar. Edmonton Football Heroes will play their first game with their new name on August 7th when the Edmonton Elks host the Ottawa Red Blacks. Somebody explain to me why the Red Blacks, is this just that it's all caps? Red Blacks is in all caps. And I've noticed that. And I keep switching things on our site, CFL News Hub. Because remember, if you're not familiar with CFL News Hub, briefly, I've been doing websites for, almost 20 news websites for 20 years, mostly pro wrestling and sports kind of related stuff. And then I got away from the pro wrestling side of things when the XFL was announced, because I like football and it was something different. I was tired of covering the WWE because their product sucks. I hate to tell you, it does. And then Started XFL News Hub, and it started as a little thing, and then we became the number one source. Got great writers like Mike Mitchell, Josh Davis, Matt Lyons, Matt Nagashima, uh, Anthony Miller. I mean, the list goes on and on. New up-and-coming writers as well has joined us now, not only on XFL News Hub, but I am betting, as much as people say in Canada, that they think that this is going to be this merged league. I don't think so. I think they're going to be separate entities, and that's why we started CFL News Hub to focus just strictly on the CFL and strictly on ELF, which Josh Davis and Matt Lyons will be covering. They're kicking off this weekend. That's the European League of Football, plus the Mexican League also. Those will be covered on CFL News Hub, and then on XFL News Hub is all the United States, the USFL now, Fan Control Football, and of course the XFL. I figured it was just easier to kind of separate the two because one site would be clunky, and one site equals one revenue partner, where two sites equals two. I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, and that's where we're from. So we're giving the CFL an American perspective because this is all new to us. And we're going to get it wrong or whatever, but we're just super excited our goal, the mission statement of CFL News Hub, and I'm just cleaning my glasses, is to bring the CFL game to the United States, because I really think this partnership with the XFL and whatever this becomes is going to be something big for the CFL, and fans in the United States are really going to know some of these CFL players here real soon. So that's what's the deal with that. That's my intro. More stuff from this thing. So the CFL Eastern's clubs will play the first 2 weeks in the West, as some Western clubs are expected to be able to host fans sooner and in greater numbers as the season gets underway. Makes sense. Labor Day weekend is back. Ottawa hosts the Montreal Alouettes on Friday, September 3rd. The Saskatchewan Roughriders host the Bombers on Sunday, September 5th, and Monday, September 6th features a doubleheader. Hamilton hosting the Toronto Argonauts, and the Calgary Stampeders welcoming the Elks. The traditional rematches the following weekend are back too, with the Ticats in Toronto on Friday, September 10th, and a doubleheader Saturday, September 11th, featuring the Riders in Winnipeg and the Stamps in Edmonton. Saturday's all right for football, with Saturday night games scheduled on 14 of the 16 weeks, and 2 triple headers on Saturdays, September 11th and October 23rd. Every game promises to be big, with each team playing a 14-game schedule, but when the playoff races come down to the wire, teams will be going head-to-head. 6 of the last 8 games on the schedule are between division rivals. You know, one of the things that was brought up about the CFL and only having 8 teams, fans that are interested in a potential merger were saying that it would be great to just, because these guys kind of play each other a ton, and because you only have 8 teams, but you have all these games. Every game, let's see, and then there are no preseason games this year, a product of the season shortened by you know what. Clearly, there's nothing you can do about that. I've seen people complain about that, but we've talked about those fudders out there in the CFL media world complain basically about everything. So we don't care about them because we are a FUD-free zone. CFL clubs are currently in discussions with government officials on how many fans, including me, will be allowed in their stadiums. I hope I'm welcome. As the country works to emerge from you know what, your local team will release its plan for tickets as the season approaches. Every CFL game, including playoffs, Grey Cup, will be on TSN, not Sportsnet. Every Montreal Alouettes game and select non-Alouettes game will be available on RDS. A schedule of games available for viewing on ESPN stations in the U.S., as well as international viewing, will be released soon. So there it is, my friends. Something that I've been telling you on the other podcast is that, yes, ESPN Plus is going to be the place where you are able to check out games and I'm really glad that they put that in there for us guys and gals in the United States, and also international. I mean, this makes a difference if you know they do this kind of partnership, and you know the CFL is in Canada, the XFL, and then the ELF, and then a league in Mexico. There's a lot of interest. You know, European folks will take a look at the XFL and take a look at the CFL. I mean, I think it's really going to be a very cool thing. More quotes from the press release. Randy Ambrosi says, I want to thank everyone who's made the schedule and season possible, from players to governors to partners to fans and all the healthcare workers, frontline workers, amen. And scientists have done so much to allow us to endure this pandemic and start to emerge from it. Yes, Ambrosi said. The 2021 CFL season will be one we'll truly never forget. It will be a celebration of our game, our gratitude, and our pride. It will culminate in the Grey Cup that will shine a very positive light on our host, the city of Hamilton, yes, our league, and our future. We believe the season and this Grey Cup will signal the return of the CFL. It can show the world that Canada is back, my friends. Very cool. Super excited. So let's get into the schedule right here. So, of course, you can check out the schedule if you go to CFL News Hub. Just click 2021 CFL schedule. We're working on a fancier schedule that will be part of the site when you go to the teams. So you can go to the CFL teams and pick a team, and then you'll get their schedule, their roster. We're going to have stats in there, the whole nine. If you haven't, I can show you guys. Let's just check out Hamilton Tiger Cats because they're awesome. But this is the schedule right here. So you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday games. One of our guys, Josh Davis, pointed out, or something that we missed, was that Montreal has a bye week the first week. And because, remember, there's only 9 teams. So somebody got the short end of the stick, but they've got more practice time, which it might be interesting to see how that plays out later. And it will be, I mean, the one interest that what makes this season so exciting to me is that all cards are on the table. Whoever you thought was going to win, I mean, you're talking, everybody's been off a year. Players have retired. Players have left and signed with, the NFL. Or, new guys have come in. So this is I don't know how you're going to pick who you think is going to win it all in the beginning of the season, because nobody played. And then injuries is going to be a factor, because how good is shape of these guys going to be in? They basically got a month to crank it up. We saw what happened in the NFL. And this is no fault of the CFL. This is just a product of what's going on with this schedule. I mean, just with how you're going to have to do it. So it will be really interesting to watch. So, of course, you got the Thursday game at 8:30. These are all Eastern times. Saturday with 2 games, 7 and 10. Super excited about that. I mean, that's August, man. That is not too far away. A lot of Thursday games, mostly week 2, you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday. Week 3, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday. Week 4, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, not going up against the NFL. Then you've got week 5, Friday and Sunday and Monday. That's the Labor Day. That's going to be a big thing. I'm not sure how you're going to do. You have the NFL going on there. Week 6, Friday, a bunch of Saturday games. 7, 2 Fridays and Saturdays. The week 8, you got a Wednesday game and 2 Fridays. Wednesday and 2 Fridays. There's only 3 games that week. Interesting. Only 3 games for week 8. Week 9, you got a Tuesday game. And then you got Friday, Saturday. I mean, this is good because you can watch the CFL games and then not have to, and watch the NFL game. Talk about football bonanza, my friends, in the United States. So you're going to have the CFL games. And honestly, without this partnership between the XFL, us and the United States, maybe we would have watched it, but the fact that there's some partnership makes us all want to watch it. So you're going to bring in those XFL fans, and there were a lot of them that will definitely be watching. I'm really curious to see what the ESPN ratings are. Hopefully our man Mike Mitchell can lock down some ratings from ESPN as far as the viewership for CFL as compared to the past. Also in TSN too, we would love to get their numbers as well. So week 10, you got a Wednesday game and Friday, and so Saturday and Monday. Week 11, some Fridays. Week 12, Fridays and Saturdays. So mostly Friday. I mean, that's how much fun. You got football Friday night, Saturday night, NFL on Sunday. You're talking about DFS, DraftKings and that whole thing. Betting on the games. who's going to win, who's going to lose, however you do that if you're a degenerate gambler. I don't know what the deal is with in Canada, that's not going to be legalized yet, but I'm just talking about in the United States. Those games going on, maybe you bet your friends. However you guys do that. Fantasy, I mean, you're talking, you could have a fantasy CFL team, which I don't know if we'll get a fantasy CFL league thing going. We'll try to see. I know TSN had something. We'll see if we can sign up for it and whatever. But I'm definitely going to do, we did this with the XFL last year, is we had DFS league, which was the fans and the writers, and we would all make our picks and whatever and talk about those things. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, this is just fun. Remember, at the end of the day, my friends, this is just fun. And then again, Friday and Saturday on the 16th, then you get into the playoffs. There's still some wonderment about potential having extra teams in the playoffs. We'll see how that goes, which I get it. You're trying to make a buck and try to move the games later on, as they can get fans in. But I'm telling you, and I said this on my podcast, XFL Week in Review, last night, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, like I said, the numbers in Maryland are like nothing. There's nobody in the hospital with it where I'm from, and it's like 0.08 or something positivity rate. And so everything is wide open. New York City just opened up everything because they hit 70% vaccination rate. People are getting vaccinated more and more. It wouldn't shock me if they had full stadiums in some places potentially in August. The other thing is that people are very leery too. I'm like, yo, I got my jab. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not worried about anything. But it will take some time for other people to get there. But it'll be, that's what I'm saying. So you can quote me on it. I don't mind being wrong. But even if you get half stadiums, I'm just telling you, this thing's moved fast. Now, for my Hamilton Tiger Cats, this is very important. I know you guys want to hear about, your team and who you think's blah, blah, blah. You know who I'm rooting for. You can check out my hat. You know it is there. Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to win the Grey Cup because I said so. So, with the Hamilton schedule, this is interesting, and I'm looking at this for the first time. So they're away for the first 3 weeks. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Saskatchewan, and Montreal. That's this game. This first game is going to be interesting to see because, do these teams have what they had 2 years ago? Or are they starting from scratch? Who knows how sloppy things are? You know what I mean? It's going to be very, very fascinating to watch. And even if the play is a little sloppy, like, dude, I'm glad. I'm happy that it's back. They're home September 6th. That's that Labor Day deal. At 1 o'clock. Ooh, that would be fun. Their first. Ooh, could you imagine me at their first home game? I was trying to plan more in October. So then they're away. They have a Friday game. Then they're home against Calgary September 17th. That's a Friday. They have a Wednesday game away against Ottawa. Oh, but yeah, look at October. 2nd, 11th, and 23rd. Ooh, a Monday. Oh, the 11th. Ooh, that could that be the game? I just want to point out. Do we have? I might have something that I have to check my calendar. But I'm looking this Monday game against Toronto or Ottawa as potentially those would be the games that I would love to go to. Because my birthday is October 8th. I just want to point that out. You can send me Dogecoin and Bitcoin for my birthday. And by the way, see, I got my Dogecoin. So we got a NASCAR race and the Dogecoin car is going this week. So I got my Socrates Dogecoin, and it's got a little Dogecoin thing on the back, and I got my Dogecoin dog right there too, staring at you creepily. I'm sure he freaks some people out. So that might be that's the kind of time frame I'm looking at. So I'll have to check my calendar and see when tickets are available. But that would be fun. Take the wife up for a couple days, go to Hamilton, check out a game. And then we got October 29th. They're away and then home in November, because I think This weekend, when they're against Toronto, oh, how fun would it be? Totally. Um, I don't know if it would annoy my friends, but we're planning on going to a Ravens game. Is I believe that weekend, the Hamilton, that November 12th. We were talking about going to see the Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. So how fun would that be to be in town to watch that kind of stuff? Um, oh, where we go? To watch that kind of stuff and watch like a CFL game too with my friends. That would be kind of cool. And then they close out the season November 20th. That's their Hamilton Tiger Cats, who are going to win the Grey Cup. And that's it. All right, that's it for the show, folks. And no, I'm just kidding. So on our site, you can check out our site. So we have, like, I got some of the schedule in there, but you'll have the full schedule. If you go to the teams and then you just pick the teams, CFL teams, you got the full schedule. You'll have the full schedule. Working on that. It's cool. It's got the logo, got, location, all this other stuff. And then, you got their home, the head coach, the current team. These rosters will be updated, but it's like the kicker and the quarterbacks and some. This was from a while ago, but this will get updated. So you got the full roster here, and then you got the division that they're in as well. And then if you look at the game, you got the details and you got the location, the venue. Probably do like tickets or something like that. Throw that on there too. So you'll be able to get all this information on CFL News Hub. And so there's the schedule, the full schedule. Very cool. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat real quick before we get into the CFL PA and some must-see games. Let's see. Richard says, I'm ready for the CFL season to start. Me too. He says, go BC Lions, Ottawa Red Blacks. Okay. I came in my mind to what team to cheer for. I already told you what team to cheer for. Hamilton Tiger Cats. Trey, one of the new writers on our show, says 9 teams, Mark. Yes, there are 9 teams. Did I say there were 8? There are 9 teams. Richard says, who do you think is going to win it all? The Hamilton Tiger Cats. That's it. Trey says the Canadian Thanksgiving is on October 11th. That makes it even more interesting to come up on that Thanksgiving time. It's a holiday. Interesting. Ooh, that's just calling me. The time is calling me, friends. That is calling me. Let's see here. Very cool stuff there. So the CFL PA also had a approval of a memorandum of agreement. They basically, it was, clearly without players, you can't have a season. We have the press conference on our YouTube channel if you want to check it out. It's about 20 minutes long. Some people asked some interesting questions there. I tried to make it. I could not make it, but I wanted to ask about the XFL and just, their reaction, any kind of thing. I know, but they're totally into what's going on here. But they made some changes. I believe it was somewhere around like 17 or 19 different changes to their schedule or to their agreement. But remember, the most important part about all this is that their collective bargaining agreement is done after this season. So if there's going to be something, who knows? Because if you're gonna collect a bargain, they might extend it a year and go back to like the normal one just for another year before they agree again. But this situation with the XFL, because if the XFL somehow is able to bring in new money to the league plus the gambling stuff, now everybody's like, some people are like, oh, well, once they get gambling, then that's it, it's over, and they don't need any money, they don't need the XFL. Bro, no, it's not going to solve your problem. These guys are running on a shoestring budget with no people. So by the time you trickle all that money in, it's going to the players and hiring more people. It's not going straight into the owners' pockets. An extra $2 million a piece. Get real. Do the math. It's not going to happen. but it's certainly going to help, and it's certainly going to absolutely help the league and make the league, less on that teetering and more solid ground. And then if they can do something with the XFL and this parent company, that would be kind of good too. That would help the league, no question. So TSN had some must-see matchups for the 2021 CFL schedule. Let's see what they have here. Let's see who wrote this. TSN staff. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. TSN took 6 must-see matchups for the CFL schedule. First, Grey Cup matchup. The last CFL game was played in November 2019 when the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defeated the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Yeah, big deal. 33-12 to win the 107th Grey Cup. So it's only fitting the same 2 teams will kick off 16 months later. Isn't that crazy? 16 months later. Week 1, August 5th. Both teams are expected to return strong rosters and a number of players from that Grey Cup meeting. The season kicks off with the battle of the 2 contenders. I'm going to say the team, so definitely Hamilton's going to win it all. That's it. I'm telling you now. Hamilton's going to win it all. And Hamilton in their division, if I have this right, you've got, let's see here. You've got Hamilton, Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto. That's the East Division. And then, let's see here. So I think they could win that division. I'm not really actually worried about any of those teams. In the West, with new name, Taylor Cornelius from the XFL, and all right, guys in the chat room, who's the Jamie Elizondo from the XFL? Which when he was calling plays, they were looking good. Tampa Bay Vipers were looking good. I'm going Edmonton, Hamilton for the Grey Cup, with Hamilton winning it all, baby. I think Hamilton can run away with this division right here. But West is a good division. Calgary, Winnipeg, Edmonton. It's going to be good. 14-game season. Can you make it happen? Why don't you add another team here? Wouldn't it be something? And I was thinking that if they were like, hey, we're going to throw in the Houston Roughnecks in your season or something to play a season, that would have been crazy. But all right, let's see. So that was number 1 that they had. Rick Campbell. So their second one is Rick Campbell. Oh, wait, whoops. Rick Campbell was the only coach in Ottawa Redblacks history until he parted ways with the club after 6 seasons in charge and 1 Grey Cup victory after the 2019 season. At the time, Redblacks GM Marcel Desjardins said Campbell, quote, thought our relationship wasn't good enough for him to continue, close quote, and Campbell said he was sad to be leaving. That sounds like a breakup. He'll make his return to the nation's capital to face his old team in Week 4, August 28th, when the head coach and co-general manager, the head coach and co-general manager of the BC Lions. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Ooh, I like that one. Labor Day weekend. So now this is making more sense to me as American watching and learning about the CFL, because everybody's like, oh, CFL doesn't start Labor Day weekend. Well, clearly this is like awesomeness going on for Labor Day weekend. It won't be the halfway point of the season like previous years, but all the rivalry matchups return on Labor Day weekend. The Red Blacks and Montreal Alouettes kick off the long weekend on September 3rd before the Blue Bombers travel to Saskatchewan to take on the Rough Riders on September 5th. It will be the first matchup of the season between the rivals and the first time they've met since the Western Finals in 2019. That's cool. Tiger Cats and Toronto Argonauts renew hostilities. Blowout. Followed by Edmonton Elks taking on the Calgary Stampeders in the traditional Labor Day doubleheader on September 6th. Very cool. The 3 customary rematches are scheduled for the week after as well, including the Banjo Bowl in Winnipeg between the Rough Riders and the Blue Bombers, the Banjo Bowl. All right. Trey is in there. Trey, what is the Banjo Bowl? Let us know what that is. Our resident expert Canadian writer at XFL or CFL News Hub. What is the Banjo Bowl? We'll get to him in a second because I want to know what that is. Returning to Riderville, the two stalwarts of the Rough Riders defense the last two seasons of the CFL football, Charleston Hughes and Cameron Judge, will return to Saskatchewan in Week 7 on September 17th, wearing the Argonauts double blue. Hughes said when he signed with the Argos in February, he thought he'd be back with the Rough Riders, but struggled negotiating with the team and was happy to be somewhere where he's valued. Oh, a little going on there. Bulletin board material. When asked at his introductory press conference why he didn't pursue buying the Argos previously, new Alouettes co-owner Gary Stern, we've talked about him, took a shot at the double blue. Quote, "Don't take this the wrong way, but the Argos suck." Oh man. That that wasn't very nice. I like it though. Very cool. Okay. Stern's comments didn't go unnoticed by Toronto at the time, and their Week 8 matchup on September 24th will be the first time the two sides meet since then. Will the Argonauts still remember? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. You got to put it out there. I like a owner talking trash. That's good. That's good stuff, man. I like it. Talk some trash, owners. And the Argos do suck because they're in the same division as Hamilton. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Toronto Argonauts, yeah, are in the same division. So I can't. Let me ask you this, chat room, too. Again, and we're learning this, us Americans here. And the only way I can kind of figure this out is the Toronto Argonauts like the Yankees of the Major League Baseball, where like everybody hates them? Is that a thing? Canadian fans, leave us a comment. Tell us, talk about the Banjo Bowl first of all in the comments, and also, is the Toronto Argonauts like the New York Yankees? And I know they haven't been good, but maybe that's why. But is like that the team that like everybody hates on? It's like, oh, we just want to hate on. Everybody's got one team in their league. We didn't get that in the XFL, but you know, everybody hates the Dallas Cowboys, for example, and always wants to root for the Cowboys to lose, that kind of thing. I think Argos, I've officially said it now, Toronto, we want them to lose, even though business-wise it would help if they were successful. Finally, Nick Arbuckle joined the Red Blacks, and Matt Nichols signed with the Argonauts in the offseason ahead of the 2020 season. Then the season was canceled due to you know what, and both players were given a free agency do-over earlier ahead of the season. Arbuckle ultimately decided to join his QB coach in Calgary, and new Argos head coach Ryan Dinwiddie in Toronto, while Nichols ended up with his former offensive coordinator in Winnipeg and new Red Blacks head coach Paul LaPolice in Ottawa. The two teams and quarterbacks will meet for the first time in Week 10 on October 6th in a battle of who made the right decision behind center. Interesting there as well. Pretty cool stuff. Super excited to get to learn about this league and learn more about the season. But so far, I mean, I'm just glad that they're playing, and I think you guys are too. Finally, let's just get to some social media stuff real quick before we wrap up. On the schedule being released, Vern says, Fritz says, go Riders. I don't know about that. Al says, awesome. It's up down there. And let's see, Joel. He's excited too as well. So that's so you can get involved with stuff on our social media stuff. We're on the Facebook, the Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards, even TikTok as well for you youngins out there. But that's it. That's the schedule for this CFL season. It is out. There's still a lot of other things. If you head over to CFL News Hub, not only can you check out the schedule, and it's search, sortable if you want to check out what Winnipeg or the Blue Bombers are doing. If you want to check out Saskatchewan, you could just type it in there. If you want to look at all the Friday games, it will do that as well. If you want to look at all the 10 o'clock games, it has those as well. So you could see it does all sorts of kind of cool filtering. So that's where you can check out the schedule on CFL News Hub going on for the next day or two. All of our writers are going to take and break down the schedule for each of their teams that they are focusing on. So Mike Mitchell has his article out about the Toronto Argonauts. We got a Red Blacks. See, I made it all caps. Red Blacks out there, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That just got released as well. You'll get more of those reactions, so check out those things. And follow the writers that are covering the team that you like. It's a lot of fun. We're super excited. And listen, we're going to get things wrong in the beginning. It's not that big of a deal. We didn't know anything about the XFL, and we became experts by week 5. So I'm not too worried about that. Really, we're going to really start to crank up stuff is once we start getting into training camp in July. So the plan is to kind of chill right now. And then once July starts kicking in, we're really going to kind of ramp things up. We'll have a live show. I'll announce all that stuff on XFL Week in Review when the time is right. But sometime in early July, we'll make an announcement of when the weekly CFL only show on our CFL News Hub YouTube channel. It's just going to be entitled CFL News Hub Show. That's it. Not very complicated. All right. We want to thank Richard. We want to thank Trey, Zach, hanging out in the chat rooms. Our first time here. Thanks for stopping by. Zach says Argonauts to equal the Yankees of CFL, but I don't think it is because everyone hates them. I don't know. I'm new to this, so only time will tell my friends. Trey said they are the oldest franchise, and I think they have the most cups, but limited fan base, unlike the Yankees. This is very true. And Yankees fans are kind of obnoxious. Trey also says, but back to the Banjo Bowl, the name had stuck since 2004, and every year Labor Day is in Regina, and the following game is in Winnipeg called Banjo Bowl. Very cool. Trey, there's your next article. Write about the history of the Banjo Bowl and educate us Americans on the CFL. And I think this is really important for Americans because I know that there's a lot of talk about merger and rules with the XFL. I don't really know how far along that actually is. I have a feeling it's not very far along. I think they're talking about content and deliverables, not really rules. The CFL needs to get through the season. But again, it'll be really interesting if American fans just like the Canadian game with the 3 downs and the wider fields. Now, some of the things they can't do in the United States, but some of the things they could. And if, over the course of the year, XFL is like, well, we can tweak some things, but we're not making any big changes to the rules. But then again, 4 downs is played in the ELF League and NFL and college football. So who knows? That's something for discussion after the CFL season is complete. So if you want to be part of the show or give us your thoughts, info@cflnewshub.com with your MP3 or videos, you can do that as well. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for everybody in the chat room checking in. And that's it for this week's special edition of the 2021 CFL schedule. Take a nice review. Remember, check out CFL News Hub. We're on Twitter, Facebook, social, everywhere. And check out all the recaps that our writers are putting out there. All right, that's it for me, folks. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you, as I always say, later.